guys, I'm back from Chicago and it's almost been 2 weeks since I had a book review. So I'm going to do one tonight to make it not a full 2 weeks. Does that work? I think that works. So tonight I decided to look at a popular sci-fi novel that has been made into a movie. It's coming out this fall, and if you haven't guessed it yet, it is Orson Scott Card's Ender's Game, which, if you're unaware of what this is, that's okay. I didn't know about it until I saw the movie trailers, and it looked pretty awesome, so I decided to check out the book, and that's what I did, and that's where we are now. Book review for it, yeah! So, essentially, for those of you that don't know what goes on in this book, we have a future world in which we have this genius child by the name of Ender Wiggins who has been selected to partake in a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to become the military's ultimate defensive weapon against an alien species that has attacked Earth twice, so now we need to defend ourselves in case there's a third attack. I've said this a lot, can you guys tell? But anyway, so things that I liked with this book. First off, is the fact that our soldiers in this book are all kids, and they're kids ranging from the ages of 5 to 16. Childhood has been thrown out the door for these kids. They have been put into the military lifestyle of an adult, and yeah, that's different, especially for a society in which we don't like having kids being adults at such a young age. So I enjoyed that. It was very different, especially from the fantasy that I read. I also enjoy the fact that Card had picked out gifted kids to be these individuals partaking in this special program. Mainly because if you've been teaching or you've been in a teaching environment, or even if you are a gifted individual, oftentimes gifted kids are the ones that are kind of, the teacher's like, oh, you get this concept, I don't need to worry about you, and so then they get left behind because the kid gets bored and they don't pay attention. And so it's kind of like a little epidemic on its own in which gifted individuals are not stimulated enough. This book pretty much puts gifted individuals into the ultimate stimulated environment in space, with having to come up with military strategies and creativity, which is actually pretty cool and probably one of the best things I've heard of. And so I enjoyed it for that. Also, because we're in space, and this comes to my other point to why I love this book, is the fact that in space, gravity doesn't really exist. You're weightless. And with that, descriptors such as up, down, left, and right, and front and back, well, front and back kind of still works, but those descriptors are now relative in space because you can float around in any direction, and those descriptive directions can be any direction. So I really enjoyed that concept, especially after having my Calculus 3 class, which had that third dimension aspect to it. It really got my visual and spatial imagination working, and I loved it for that aspect because I could turn things around and manipulate it in my mind, and I've always been good with that, so yeah. Also, my book had an introduction to it, and I would say that was probably a really good thing. It did help me with understanding parts of the book. But one of the things that Card mentioned was that he wanted to write something that was inspiring to the reader. And that comes through in this book, whether it inspires you to go into a field of science, or inspiring you to be a better person, or understanding people coming from where they come from a different background. It does a great job at that, and I really appreciated it because it's really engaging the reader in another aspect. Now, things I disliked. First thing I want to touch on, I didn't dislike it myself, but I have heard other people claim that it did not sound appropriate in the book, is that the kids in this book swear at times. To me, that seemed legit, because if any of you have been kids before, when you started swearing, you didn't swear around the adults. You swore around your friends, around your peers, around anyone who was around your age. You don't do it around the adults. So to me, it made perfect sense. I had no problems with it. Now, things that I personally disliked. First off, climax flatlines. You have these little steps here and there, and it's intriguing at these points, but it flatlines. It was disappointing in that aspect. And also, how the novel wraps itself up. Too peachy keen for me. You guys know me. I like having some stuff going on. But it was still too peachy keen for me, so I didn't really enjoy the wrap-up of it. However, overall, this book was still enjoyable enough that I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed just the fact that it has the visual concepts that really just, I had a lot of fun manipulating in my mind to see how things were working out. Also the fact that it was so inspiring, it makes me really excited to go into biomedical engineering right now. Although it had nothing to do with that, but just some of the concepts that were in there really made me want to like do something that great. And yeah, like I said, climax flatline, so that was a bit of a disappointment. However, still enjoyable, still a great read. I would say check it out before the movie comes out. And yeah, I wonder how the movie will be, you guys. So, you guys have a great night. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow night. And remember to not feed the trolls. And yeah, go down below and hit subscribe for more book reviews and follow me through all the links down below. So, yeah, that's about it, and I'm gonna go enjoy a slice of pizza, because I can. Yeah. You guys have a great night. Bye.